Hey guys, today we're working on the car. I got my head wrapped around it finally after that last video. I shot that, a couple days ago. So I'm back into a full swing now. I'm going to be coming home every day after work. We're going to get working on this car weekends. This is my focus now until the summertime. So I'm not shooting much photos or anything right now. So we got to get this going. Right, so today I just did we got some new welding gear, so I'm playing with that. We're going to use shielding gas, because you really can't do this bodywork without shielding gas. I shouldn't say that, because I'm sure you probably could with flux core, but you wouldn't want to, right? I'm just having a look at it here, and it's rough, you know, it's real rough. This is a salvage mission now. It's not going to make it look pretty. Yeah, let's get right into it. I'll show you what I'm up to, and then I'll kind of bring you along for a ride. Okay, so I'm going to shock you right off the bat. There's a hole right to the trunk. Obviously it's, you know, serious, but it looks worse than it is, kind of, because, yeah, it's not because it's that rusty, it's because it's been sitting with water there for literally years. Ever since I got this car, there's a leak in the trunk, kind of up here. Yeah, right here is the culprit. Where the window is, underneath where the window is, so the glass hasn't come out, which is why it's just never gotten to be repaired. I'll kind of show you. I have a piece cut for it. I'll show you here on the floor. So this is the piece here, and I'm assuming it's leaking right here in this seam. You can kind of see this one was starting to leak. Obviously, if we use this piece, we'll clean that up. So the trunk leaking kind of sucks, but it's super easy to repair. Not worried about that at all. That leak that goes into the trunk, a bit more of a nuisance of a repair. Probably worth fixing for sure. It definitely, if we're going to keep this body for a little while, you know, maybe I'll leave that sit for a little bit, because if we do decide to get rid of the body, that's a lot of work we don't need to do. But for now, it is what it is. We'll deal with it. It's not like holes through or anything. It's not soft there in any way. It's just leaking kind of through the seams. This rust now I'm going to show you is what I was referencing in the first video. This is what absolutely has to be done. Well, obviously the trunk got to be done too, but this is the main thing. It's super cosmetic, and it's just unnecessary to have it there when I got all these extra parts. So I'll spin you around. This is it here. You can kind of see there's some body fill on it from before. When I got the car, this was never like this. This has gotten worse since I've gotten the car. It's a little bit worse because I took the paint off it pretty quick with a wire wheel just to have a look at it. Inside isn't too bad, you know, into the creases there, and obviously it's rough again down there on the bottom. You know, it is what it is. It sucks, but it's what we got to deal with. But of course, I have this fresh piece. This piece is immaculate, and it goes right down to the bottom. And I actually still have the Tiger car in the yard, so I might not have cut enough right down here where the skirt goes. But I've got the whole car there, so I'll just cut more. I can cut more, weld it in, piece it in. You know, we'll make it work. You can't see the skirt anyway, so if it's not perfectly body shaped, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's irrelevant, because the STIs have this cover that goes over them, and I have a few of these covers, so I'm not sure the condition of that plastic cover underneath this piece here I'm talking about. But I got a couple of those, so it's no big deal. That really made me sad when I pulled the car out. I wasn't expecting it. And yeah, it kind of killed me a little bit, but it's worth fixing for sure. It's not a big fix, it's not that difficult. We'll manage that, no sweat. So I'm kind of, you know, already started in the middle of it here, so I'm going to hit the ground rolling with this video. I'm just going to get right to it, and I'm going to start taking off the bumper and stuff, because that's got to come off, access that easier. And yeah, we'll get working on it. A little bit of a change of plans. I started working, I got kind of ahead of myself. I just kept doing a few things. So I'll show you what I did, only just quickly. So I took the lights out, and you know, I took the bumper off here, and I discovered that these pieces here, obviously not these, but these pieces were completely rotted out. These guys here, yeah, and you can see the big long centerpiece. So I actually went and took them off the Tiger car, because this side here obviously was crushed, and this was completely crushed flat. But I kind of put it in the vise and bent it by hand, and yeah, they're pretty good. I think that's it tonight for me. It's a bit late, I want to go to bed. We'll get up early and get back at this. But I'm mostly excited about being back in the mood to get this done. You know, like I've mentioned a few times, I've kind of been out of this project a little bit. My head's been elsewhere. So we're full back into it now. We're going to get this rolling. Alright, see you guys tomorrow. Back again. It's a couple days later actually, and a few things you might be able to see there got done that didn't expect to get done. So my buddies kind of come over, we were hanging out a little bit, and I just started wrenching, just taking off some stuff bottomlessly off the engine. Nothing too crazy. You guys have seen it all before. Not even bother talking about it, just general accessories and, you know, radiator, random bits and pieces. But I haven't touched the bodywork we had to do. So for bodywork, I'm going to do a trunk first actually. It's least important, but that's kind of the point because I have a little bit of practice and you know, before I start touching stuff that everyone's going to see. So let's get to it, start cutting and see what happens. Alright, so from one of the parts cars I cut this. Just kind of cut it randomly, just what I thought would be oversized for what I need, but it's actually pretty close. So I think I'm gonna clean up this first, get some bare metal showing, so I can make a mark, and I'm just gonna mark it with a marker. So I really don't know what I'm doing with bodywork, but this is how I think it's gonna work best for right now. So we'll clean this up and see where we're to then. I'm kind of having a little bit of a dilemma in my head. I'm not really sure if I should perfectly match it, kind of like a butt weld, this patch into the body, or if I should kind of overlap the patch over the body, and you know, because I know it's going to be good all around. I'm not sure how good my cut's going to be. I should probably try it though, because this is like practice for the other side, where I'm definitely going to have to butt weld it, you know, if I want it to look half decent. So I guess we'll try it. Right? I mean, we're doing it, so it's not a big deal if you got to fill a little bit of a gap with weld. It's hard because the stuff is so thin. You really got to just tax, you know. All right, we'll give it a try. Alright, so it was pretty close. I cut inside the line a little bit, probably 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Just enough to give you a little bit of play, because I think the best option when you're doing this, obviously you're not going to get it right the first cut, so you probably got to cut it like that a little bit, with a little bit of excess, and then I'm probably going to take just a normal grinding wheel and shape it a little bit. We're going to get this in, we'll get it, you know, pretty close, and we'll see what happens after. I'll give you a quick look at a hole just before I start welding and tacking it in. It looks a little bit messy, and at most there's probably 1/8 of an inch gap between the two surfaces, so it's going to take a little time. I'm going to have to do a little bit of filling, which, you know, isn't ideal, but it is what it is. Okay, that's it for tonight. We're finished welding the trunk. Man, it's really not easy because you know I don't do a whole lot of this stuff, especially the bodywork, and I had to fill in some gaps. Actually, you can see me in the video. I had to kind of hit it with a hammer, and because it was bent, you can kind of flatten it out, and in flattening it out, it kind of, you know, the curve kind of flattened out and went straight, so I got a little bit of extra gap fill. Not too perfect because now the shape of it's a little bit off, but it doesn't matter anyways. This is just for making that solid. So I'll show you in a second, but yeah, a couple of spots you can kind of get a bead going, and you really got to manage the heat because you got to let it cool off, but if you let it completely cool, the bead doesn't kind of run smoothly together. It starts to like be, you know, like a small lump, small lump, small lump, which is, you know, probably fine, but doesn't look that nice. So a few sections I got it going half decent, but then I kind of, you know, maybe a couple of sections had a hole, so I had to go back over them, and it's all a bit messy now. It is what it is. So over here we had some real bad gaps, really bad gaps. I mean, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch here, which is pretty ridiculous. I guess probably a body person would, they would take their time and maybe cut a piece in, or, you know, well, they probably would have took time in the beginning and made it, you know, all fit proper. You know, this is kind of my fault for not doing good prep work. But kind of in this section here, you kind of get a bead going, pretty decent, and then you can kind of start pulling them together a bit more here. And I actually had a hole there, so that's why it's a little bit extra. Not pretty, of course, but I'm loving the shielding gas, and that was a great practice to get started on the other side. But I think on the body panel on the side, overlapping them is going to be okay. So with the body panel, there's an inside piece, kind of if you're in the wheel well, it's like up like that on top, the top of the wheel well, and then the outside piece, and they come together in a V. So I think on the inside, it's going to be okay to have a little bit of a gap into it, because there shouldn't be any water inside, and you know, it's going to be difficult to get that perfectly joined, and you won't see it anyways. And on the outside piece, the flat body with the paint, we'll try and keep that pretty. So that's probably a better plan. I'm not sure what the proper technique is, but that's what I'm going to do, I think. So we'll check it out the next time. I'm probably going to work on this tomorrow, I would say. I'll see you guys then.